Good morning. So for my task analysis, we focused on helping my student to learn how to add a one-digit number to another one-digit number. And my teacher had been using the strategy of counting on. So she was having him identify the first number. So say, okay, the first number is 3 and the addend is 4. Let's hold the number 3 in our head, and then we're going to count on 4. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this strategy is the one that I ended up going with for my task analysis because I thought it would be good to stick to the same strategy that my teacher was using, but the manipulatives were really getting in the way. So I actually ended up teaching it in a different way, and that is the way I'm going to teach my laptop. So the way that I ended up teaching my student is by giving him really easy numbers to start with, and these numbers are backwards, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to write them in a better way. So I started off with really easy numbers like 3 plus 2 equals blank, and just having my student point and read. So he would start off by saying 3 plus 2 equals blank. And I would say, great, okay, we're going to draw dots for that. And I showed him to start that we would draw 1, 2, 3 dots for 3, and 1, 2 dots for 2. So his final product should just look like this. And then once we did the 3 dots for 3 and the 2 dots for 2, we would just count them up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he should put the answer as 5. And he actually did a really good job of this. He definitely was getting it. And I had to do a lot of covering up the numbers. For example, making sure that he wasn't just kind of drawing dots. So I would prompt him by saying, okay, this number is what? And he would say 3, and I would say, okay, so how many dots are we going to draw? And he would say 3, and he would go 1, 2, 3. But sometimes if I wasn't covering that second number, he would then start just kind of drawing additional dots across. But with the prompting of covering up the other number, he was able to correctly draw the right number of dots. So after we made sure to do easy numbers, we increased our numbers a little bit, and that's where we ran into a tiny bit of trouble, so we added an additional step. So my student was deciding that 5 plus 6 equals blank. He was able to read 5 plus 6 equals blank, and he was able to draw dots, but the dots weren't always the correct number of dots. So for example, he might think he drew 5 dots, but in reality he actually drew 4 dots. Or he might draw the dots the right way, and then he might start counting, and he would count up to the wrong numbers. So what we had to do is add an additional step, which is to check our work, which we should have been doing anyway. So he would draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he would count them up. So he would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the answer is 10. And I would say, okay, let's check our work. Let's make sure that we have 10 dots. So then he would go back and he'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh, we got 11 this time, so what should we do? Let's check one more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we got to the number 11. Yay! And over time, I actually ended up moving this process so that my student is now drawing 5s in groups like this to kind of eliminate the counting problem because he's having problems tracking with his finger. So yeah, thank you. Have a good day.